Imagine going from a normal mom who packs lunches and helps with homework to becoming the most feared person in an entire city. One moment, Riley North is laughing with her daughter at a carnival. The next, her husband is dead, her child is gone, and the justice system completely abandons her. But instead of breaking, she disappears, and 5 years later, she comes back as a one-woman army. This is Peppermint, a revenge story where a grieving mother turns herself into a nightmare for every criminal who ruined her life. And trust me, the ending is way more brutal than you expect. The movie opens with Riley North, an ordinary woman living in Los Angeles with her husband Chris and their young daughter, Carly. They're not rich, they're not powerful, they're just trying to survive. Chris works hard, and Riley works at a bank. Despite struggling with bills, they still try to give their daughter a happy life. Carly's birthday is coming up, and even though money is tight, the family spends the day together at a carnival. And honestly, these scenes are important because the movie wants you to see exactly what Riley loses. You watch them laugh together, play games, and act like a real family. For a few minutes, everything feels warm and normal. But underneath all of this, danger is already creeping in. Chris secretly knows something terrible. He recently discovered that the men he works with are connected to a violent drug cartel led by a ruthless kingpin named Diego Garcia. Chris wants out, but people like Garcia don't let anyone walk away. One night, Chris admits he's scared. He knows these criminals might come after him. Riley tells him they'll figure things out together. But before they even get the chance, everything falls apart. After leaving the carnival, Riley and her family stop at a traffic light. Suddenly, a black car pulls up beside them, and without warning, gunfire explodes everywhere. Bullets rip through the car. Glass shatters. People scream. Chris is hit instantly. Little Carly is caught in the crossfire. Riley survives, barely. The entire attack happens in seconds, and just like that, her entire world is erased. The hospital scenes are absolutely heartbreaking. Riley wakes up injured and confused, desperately asking about her husband and daughter. But deep down, she already knows. They're gone. And the worst part? The killers are caught almost immediately. At first, it looks like justice will finally happen. But this is where the movie really gets angry, because the legal system completely fails her. The defense attorney manipulates the case. Witnesses suddenly disappear. Evidence becomes shaky. And corrupt cops start protecting the criminals. Riley tries to identify the shooters in court, but the defense attacks her credibility, saying her injuries make her memory unreliable. The judge agrees, and just like that, the killers walk free. Imagine sitting there after losing your entire family and watching the men responsible smile while they escape punishment. That moment destroys something inside Riley. She doesn't scream. She doesn't break down. She just stares at them. And you can already tell, this story is not ending peacefully. Right after the trial, Riley suddenly vanishes. No one knows where she went. The police think she may have committed suicide, but they're completely wrong. For the next 5 years, Riley transforms herself. And this is one of the coolest parts of the movie, because you slowly realize she's rebuilding herself into a weapon. She learns combat, weapons training, survival tactics, explosives, hacking, interrogation. She studies criminals, learns how cartels operate, and trains until the weak, grieving mother from the beginning of the movie completely disappears. Then one day, Los Angeles wakes up to chaos. Members of Garcia's cartel start dying. Violently, One criminal is found hanging from a Ferris wheel, another gets blown apart, others are executed with military precision. And suddenly, rumors spread through the city. Someone is hunting the cartel, and no one can stop her. Detectives Stan Carmichael and Moises Beltran are assigned to investigate the murders. At first, they assume it's gang warfare. But then they find surveillance footage, and they realize something terrifying. The person behind all of this is Riley North, the same woman everyone thought was broken. But now, she's almost unrecognizable, cold, focused, calculated. There's a scene where cartel members try to ambush her inside a building, and Riley wipes them out with brutal efficiency. No hesitation, no fear. The movie basically turns her into an unstoppable force. But what makes it interesting is that Riley isn't killing random people. Every target is connected to the men who murdered her family. To her, this isn't revenge anymore. It's justice, or at least her version of justice. Soon, Riley becomes almost like an urban legend. Regular people secretly support her because they're tired of corruption. The police are conflicted too. Some officers want to arrest her. Others quietly understand why she's doing this. Especially Detective Beltran. He starts realizing the system truly failed her. And honestly, that's what gives the movie emotional weight. Riley wasn't born violent. The system created her. Meanwhile, Diego Garcia is furious. At first, he refuses to believe one woman is destroying his empire, but body after body keeps dropping. His men become paranoid. Nobody feels safe. And Riley keeps sending a message. She's coming for everyone. Garcia responds, the only way criminals like him know how, with more violence. He sends teams of armed killers after her. But Riley is always one step ahead. There's an intense sequence where she rigs an entire hideout with explosives. The cartel members storm in confidently and walk straight into a death trap. Boom! The whole place erupts, and Riley escapes into the night like a ghost. At this point, the cartel starts fearing her more than the police. And honestly, that's when the movie becomes really fun, because every criminal suddenly realizes the woman they ignored years ago has become their worst nightmare. Detective Carmichael becomes obsessed with catching Riley, not because he supports the cartel, but because he believes vigilantism creates chaos. And technically, he's right. Riley is murdering people. But the movie constantly asks a difficult question. What happens when the justice system completely stops working? What is someone supposed to do after corruption destroys their entire life? That moral conflict stays in the background through the entire story. Even Carmichael slowly begins seeing how deep the corruption goes. He discovers that dirty cops and lawyers protected Garcia from the very beginning. The people responsible for Riley's suffering were never held accountable. And now, Riley is doing it herself. Eventually, Riley tracks Garcia to his heavily guarded mansion. This is the moment the whole movie has been building toward, and it turns into a complete war. Riley sneaks onto the property armed to the teeth. Silenced weapons, explosives, automatic rifles. One by one, guards start disappearing. Some are taken out silently. Others go down in brutal gunfights. Alarms start blaring. Chaos erupts everywhere. Garcia panics as his security team collapses around him. And for the first time in the movie, the powerful cartel boss finally looks scared, because deep down, he knows exactly who's coming for him. Riley storms through the mansion like pure vengeance. And when she finally confronts Garcia face to face, there's no dramatic speech, no long negotiation, just rage. Garcia tries to save himself. He tries to talk, He tries to buy time. But Riley remembers her daughter, her husband, that night at the traffic light, and she kills him. Just like that, the man who destroyed her family is finally gone. After Garcia's death, police surround the mansion. Detective Carmichael finds Riley standing there, surrounded by destruction. And this final moment is interesting because the movie doesn't really celebrate her victory. Yes, she got revenge. Yes, the people responsible are dead. But nothing brings her family back. Riley won the war, but she lost everything that mattered long ago. Before the police can fully close in, Riley disappears once again, leaving behind only questions. Some people see her as a criminal, others see her as a hero. And honestly, the movie wants viewers to decide for themselves. Was she justified? Or did revenge turn her into the very thing she hated? Peppermint is basically a modern revenge thriller, mixed with the emotional story of a mother who has nothing left to lose. It's fast, violent, emotional, and surprisingly sad underneath all the action. What makes the movie work isn't just the explosions or fight scenes. It's the idea that Riley North could have lived a completely normal life if corruption and violence hadn't destroyed it. And that's what makes her transformation so chilling, because she wasn't born a killer, she was created by loss. And once she came back, nobody was ready for what she had become. So if you enjoy revenge movies where one person takes on an entire criminal empire, Peppermint is definitely worth watching. And honestly, after seeing everything Riley went through, it's hard not to root for her, even when you know she's crossed the line.